I think it's safe to assume that we're all a bit weary and worn right now. A global pandemic, an economic crisis, a political crisis, and the realities of racism are wearing heavily on all of us. And it can easily overwhelm us. And that's not including any of the personal struggles that we might be going through right now. Now, I have this conviction that we were created to give back. In some way, we've been blessed in order to be a blessing to someone else. Another way to say this would be that we've been created to help create something larger than ourselves, to be a part of the redemption story for all of creation. And if that's true, and this conviction is something that's worth working towards, it is something that's going to take some work, and it's probably going to require a little bit of selflessness. I don't know about you, but as I hear myself saying that, it sort of sounds like I'm trying to add one more thing to my plate. And in times when it feels like nothing can go right, trying to talk about calling or purpose can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming. I know for myself, over these past couple of months, there have been times where I've just wanted to crawl in a hole and hide. But I did something recently that helped snap me out of it and helped reset my perspective a little bit. I got away for a few days and spent some time with my family. That in and of itself was good and refreshing, but getting to take a step back and breathe for a minute helped me realize that we're supposed to work. The divine assignment we've all been given is good, and it's life-giving work. Maybe I just need more sunlight to help clear my head, but I think it's helpful for me to remember that work is a good thing, and to try and separate the heavy burdens that we've all been carrying around with us from the life-giving process of knowing that we're doing what it is that we're supposed to be a part of. I guess I should clarify that the work that I am referring to isn't necessarily vocational. If it is, that's great and awesome, but justice, reconciliation, and peacemaking often come in the form of everyday conversations, parenting, and just trying to put the needs of others ahead of ourselves. I'm reminded of my friend Freddie, who I went to the Congo with last summer. Now, his desire to help the community he grew up in comes from a place of wanting to give opportunities to young Congolese boys and girls that he didn't necessarily see when he was growing up. He wanted to bless others with what he had been blessed with.
When I meet people in America and when they see me preaching in different places and the things that they know about me as an engineer working with the leaders of our community who are making decisions on what next hospital to build, and those people qualify me of being different, thinking that somehow I did not come from a neighborhood like this. Somehow who I represent to them is way far from me being here as a little kid with no hope whatsoever. But what I understand is that even those kids that we see, there is a purpose in their life. But they can never make it unless we are willing to do something for them. That I had given so much opportunity. God has been so good to me that I have to be good to others. I have to show that same love that God has shown to me.
When you have clarity around what it is that you're called to do, it's energizing. The most daunting tasks, like building a hospital in the Congo, are worth all the effort. But we can't come to these moments of clarity if we aren't willing to take a step back, slow down, and listen, to rest. It can be easy to get caught up looking in the rearview mirror, wanting things to go back to the way they were. But if we aren't intentional about making the most of our situations, we can easily let an opportunity to pause and rest pass us by. Rather than continuing to invest our energy in what could have been, maybe what's going on is revealing that our friends, family, and community is what we should be investing in. I'm reminded of this story in the Bible in the book of Exodus. It's the story of the ancient Israelites who were set free from slavery in Egypt. And after they're freed, they go wandering through the desert looking for their new home. And after a little while, they get a little bit tired and a little bit hungry. And so they start complaining to Moses, saying that they would have been better off dying in Egypt because at least there they would have been fed. And if I'm being honest, I can relate to this story. I had this awesome opportunity to realign my priorities and be reminded of what I've been called to. And so often I just want to move on from this time without learning anything from this process. I think it's important to find a way forward with clarity about the important assignment that we've been given, and not as a servant to the old way of doing things. Now, I think this makes the need for balance or rhythms all the more apparent. We need to rest from our work, and we need to do that regularly. For me, being able to spend time with family is a big part of this. Tahoe was so refreshing. There's something sacred about a routine of work and rest, of calling and Sabbath. Without it, I think this just becomes one more speech. Being pushed to constantly go will lead to burnout, no matter how much cheerleading is involved. It's important to slow down enough to look back and realize how far we've come or what we've learned. And it's important to remember how far we still have to go. And it's important to be rested up because we still have a long way to go. Remember, we're a part of the redemption story. Creation isn't just going to go away someday. That redemption story is a marathon and not a sprint. So rest up when you need it, because we've got some work to do. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, I would love it if you would consider hitting the like button below and also subscribing. It really is the best way to help me support this channel. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.